So. Test, Test, Test. Man sollte jetzt mich hören. Auch wenn das ein anderes Mikro ist, das ich jetzt benutze. Ich glaube, da kann ja mehr im Chat ist, muss ich mal selber testen hier. Da kann ja mehr im Chat ist, muss ich mal selber testen hier. Ja, okay. Na, das ist gleich das Bild. Ja, okay. Okay. Ja, ich muss mal kurz schauen, wegen der Lautstärke hier noch. Wie mache ich das am besten, ne? Das Problem ist, das ist mein zweites Mikrofon, das heißt, es ist ein bisschen zu weit weg, um da bequem davor zu stehen. Ich versuche es mal so. Wie ist es jetzt? So, hört man mich? Ich meine, man sollte mich jetzt man sollte mich jetzt einen Ticken besser hören können. Mal kurz schnell. Ja, das ist mal wieder typisch. Das ist mal wieder so typisch. Ja, ich habe keine Ahnung, was das Problem ist. Mein normales Mikro wird gerade überhaupt nicht von meinem Rechner erkannt. Also keins meiner Programme registriert irgendeinen Input daraus. Das ist zumindest kein Problem der Streaming-Software. Deswegen benutze ich jetzt einfach mal das zweite Mikro hier. Ja, ich hoffe, das passt trotzdem. Ich gucke hier gerade noch in den Einstellungen. Beim Filter ist da irgendwas Sinnvolles. Audiovorstellung. Okay, ein bisschen, dann muss ich nicht so direkt am Mikro dran hocken. So. Ja, also falls ich nochmal irgendwie zu leise werde oder sonst oder generelle Audiosachen sind, einfach in den Chat schreiben, ich sehe das dann meistens. Genau, dann kann ich jetzt meine Ansprache wieder machen. Super. Ja, wir spielen wieder Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Wie ihr seht, habe ich auch direkt die Side Stories angefangen. Das war so eine gute Ansprache. Jetzt habe ich das natürlich nicht mehr im Kopf. Genau, wir gucken jetzt einfach mal uns den Content an, mit dem ich ja auch noch nicht vertraut bin. Und ich habe ehrlich gesagt keine Ahnung, wie viel Content das ist oder wie lange das braucht. Das heißt, wir spielen jetzt einfach mal ein bisschen und dann gucken wir mal, wo wir abenden. Und ja, ich schätze mal ganz stark, dass es wahrscheinlich nicht alles in einem Stream abgehandelt wird. Von daher gucken wir doch einfach mal. Genau. Das heißt, wir haben jetzt mit der ersten angefangen. Trust hieß sie. Und wir sind wieder zurück, ja, im Klassenzimmer, im Literature Club. Dann gucken wir mal. Oh Gott, die Stimmen. Der Literature Club. Ich glaube, da fehlt. Habe ich noch schon Text übersprungen? Gott. Okay, everyone. The Literature Club is starting. Nice. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I missed debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Ja, also die Side Stories, das sind, soweit ich das verstanden habe, alles Prequels zu der Hauptstory in Doki Doki Literature Club. Das heißt, ja, wir sehen hier den Anfang, den wirklichen Anfang des Clubs. Monica is the only member of the Literature Club. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it over the other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision? But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Suddenly a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Is this a napping club? No, this is. Monica pauses suddenly, embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the Literature Club. This is the Literature Club. Yay! I thought I got it wrong for a sec. super sorry, it was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize, I do that all the time. Oh, did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that, this is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. No, you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no. Nur als Anmerkung, wenn der Spielsound zu laut ist, sagt das ruhig, weil ich kann gerade nicht abschätzen, wie sich das mit dem neuen Mikro verhält und abmischt richtig. Also, schreibt's einfach, wenn es zu laut, schreit in den Chat, schreit in den Chat. Schreibt in den Chat, wenn es zu laut sein sollte. Oh no! I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monika tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah! It sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monika, by the way. Monika! That's such a cool name. Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling? Well, I didn't say it didn't work. Monika glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So, what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Good. And I think I need to put some more thoughts into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monika into a friendly hug, then let's go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monika laughs. Also, Sayori is very different from her. Monika feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It will be fun. Yay, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club. Monika and Sayori to reconvene. As president, Monika ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's in 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday, but I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late, I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monika and deposits the sheets onto Monika's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, wir kriegen Gedichte. Sehr schön. Dann gucken wir mal. Take my hand. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me, while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend your smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Okay. Hey! This is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course! Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet, I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. Aww, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the club doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems you write and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah, I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So I'm glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Me too! I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd loved it. Oh jeez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? I brainstormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Well, that's true. Sayori, that's terrible. Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry, but it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club? What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm like, kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds? People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. No, nobody would do that. That would be mean. But, you know, I want to find people who are really into literature. Even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, going around to school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like, in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out a literature club. Well, the problem with that is like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How do we know if they are just reading for fun? Well, we could ask them, but then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part, I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I'd definitely like to start doing that. I'm useful! I never said you weren't. I just need to think, what would we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can be better, how we can better engage people here. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you are a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who is getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. What the heck? Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay, what if I said that we like do group readings and discuss it together? I would probably nap through that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monika, don't be sad. What do you like? What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all of my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here, silly me. Rushed, but when you... never mind. Did you want to get your stuff done? I do want to get your stuff done. I'll forget it if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it will only take a second. Sayori rushes out of the room, leaving Monika momentarily alone. Okay. Ja, also wie gesagt, eine Menge Backstory, also ein gutes Stück Backstory. Ich habe keine Ahnung, ob ich auf irgendwas anderes achten soll, weil technisch gesehen ist das ja alles geht vor die Hunde, also sollten eigentlich keine Glitches mehr passieren. Ich werde trotzdem versuchen, ein Auge aufzuhalten, man weiß es ja nicht. Sayori dashes out of the room. And Monika sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write away into your heart. Join a literature club. Write the way to your heart. Oh, that's lame. Monika! You startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monika grabs one of her flies and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way. This way! You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monika over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In there! In here, fuck. Monika peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her away. Okay, fine. I do it. Monika takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. Oh boy, who could this book-reading girl be? That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monika still feeling a bit embarrassed by their encounter. Upon returning, Monika and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list and with Monika coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah! I think we are starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori peers at the sheet of paper Monika was jotting on earlier. Don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself. Join the literature club. Right away into your heart. That's so cute. I thought it was a little over dramatic. But Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like, with this club we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from the vision. What's the vision? What's the vision? What's the... God! What's the vision? God. It's... Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her fingers against a sheet of paper. Right away into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We are really gonna make this the best club ever. Sayori nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too! Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead, I need a few minutes still. No, I can wait. That's alright, I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck! Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins away out of the club room. All alone she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who is forced to always smile and blend in. The person who forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Okay, gucken wir mal. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die and you too. Beneath my feet a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that is why I've decided I must become the flower. Woof, that's harsh. Woof. What the? Appropriate reaction here. Wait. Sayori? Und, okay, das war die erste Side Story. Das waren 25 Minuten, also der erste Teil der ersten Side Story, wenn ich das richtig sehe. Die sind ja zweigeteilt. Interesting, also von der Zeit. Ja gut, wenn die alle so 20 Minuten gehen, nicht alle heute durchkriegen, aber ein paar auf jeden Fall. Guck mal. Man muss auch gucken, wie fit ich da bin. Aber es war doch interessant. Also ich meine, das ist direkt wieder eine Andeutung auf die Depression, die ja Sayori plagen, die ja im Hauptspiel. Es war ja nicht so, dass Monika sie depressiv gemacht hat, es war ja, dass Monika die Depression verstärkt hat. Das ist ja der Punkt, die ganzen Issues, die Mädels hatten, die waren ja in einer wesentlich leichteren Form vorhanden und Monika hat effektiv dann noch ein bisschen nur den Volume-Regler hochgedreht, um sie unsympathischer zu machen. Interesting. Geht dann doch vielleicht noch ein bisschen mehr Background als gedacht. Das ist gut. Jetzt gucken wir, jetzt bin ich mal sehr gespannt hier, weil wir haben hier anscheinend Post. Das ist nämlich das andere Ding. Jetzt bin ich mal, weil das Mail-Ding hatte mit dem Hauptspiel, da ist überhaupt nichts passiert. Und bin ich mal sehr gespannt. Have a nice weekend. Was wir hier an Lore-Drops oder Background oder sonstigen Informationen finden. Von Ivelaster. Mass Local United Mail Group, blah blah Monday. Have a nice weekend. I'm on leave. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time, but I expect my job to run for a few days, since we've collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? Ivelaster, Senior Engineer, Metaverse. Okay, das ist noch nichts Neues, aber ja, das scheint der Hero getriggert zu werden. Pictures. Schalten hier direkt die neuen Sachen frei. Sehr gut. Kann man eigentlich auch mal. Kann ich. Ja. Nett. Das ist ein Achievement. Monikas Background ist doch ganz nett. Und das sind die fehlenden. Das sind dann fehlende dieser Sayori-Gedichte. Okay, ich verstehe, wie das hier funktioniert. Aha, dann haben wir hier, ja klar, da kriegen wir hier noch was. Was ist das? Was ist das Neues? Weil er sagte, ich muss alle von Sayori bekommen. Das heißt, das ist eventuell ein neues. Und lesen wir das doch kurz. Weil ich kann mich nicht daran erinnern, das schon mal gelesen zu haben. There once was a ladybug. It was so small, it took a really long time to crawl from here to there. It was very tiring to fly far too long. Nobody squishes ladybugs because they are cute. Does it make them better than other bugs? Do ladybugs know they are cute? I think they are too preoccupied with bug things. And so the ladybugs crawled around and did bug things. This story wasn't really going anywhere, but I know you don't mind. I hope you think it's nice for being there anyway. Like ladybugs. Like this ladybug. The one who clings like a doof onto your sleeve because it knows you won't squash it. If it doesn't bug you, will you stay a while? Aww. It's melancholic. Ich kann das Wallpaper setzen. Warum soll ich das Wallpaper setzen? Ansonsten haben wir. Das ist ein neues. Oh ja, stimmt, das Classroom. Oh ja, das sieht anders aus. Das sieht etwas anders aus. Okay. Aber gut, dann haben wir da jetzt noch nichts Großartiges Neues. Also sonst nichts. Wir können noch schnell die Files checken, ob hier irgendwas dazugekommen ist. Aber ich glaube ja nicht. Ja, das ist alles noch das Gleiche. Wahrscheinlich wird ja auch entsprechend angezeigt, wenn da was Neues dazu kommt. Hoffe ich jetzt einfach mal. Das heißt, wir springen jetzt einfach direkt in den zweiten Teil rein von Trust und gucken mal, wie die Geschichte weitergeht. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Also, Monika should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks. She hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monika, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monika? Is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monika shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said it so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monika stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. No, you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We are friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you are here for me. Sorry? Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monika massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monika to pry, it's also painful for Monika to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monika takes a deep breath. Okay, I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monika pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right away into your heart, or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monika returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, wanna teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I just need like some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You kinda just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds and I forget about what's actually important. Monika pulls a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. I'm just kidding. Monika scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you are not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just... Well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monika rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is really gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monika continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monika's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Phew. Monika looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. That's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give him too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it. But I think it's something that I enjoy doing. With you. Sayori repeats. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay! Let's do it! Monika and Sayori proceeds with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monika is the first one in the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monika and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. That's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart, but the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monika and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity, Neugierde from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monika thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monika's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monika was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monika pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monika lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monika's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monika presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monika. Just move your hand. Monika writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here! Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach the desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Me too. You too? The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Yeah, we're going there. Sayori. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So, if I can do it, then you can do. You can do. Ruining the moment over here. Because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It's just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I've never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else to be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that, because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am very worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this, but another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It's just made me feel like I could say it in confidence and our friendship doesn't have to change. Hahaha. It's so silly that the club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monika feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monika steps forward. But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Aww. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monika's shoulder. Through their contact, Monika can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monika realizes that of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything. It just feels like everyone just has to put up with me and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away and now I'm making you put up with me and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monika becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft as gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monika offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monika can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friends would do. Und vor allem besser als der Protagonist aus dem Hauptspiel. You have so much value. To me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never get any other member, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision. And you also brought happiness. And that makes you... that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monika feels a gentle nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monika letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah, Well, of course it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired. And hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. Monika smiles. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Ja, schätzungsweise dann Yuri, ne? So, dann war das. Wir haben keine neue Mail. Pictures sind einfach nur das Gedicht und das Dingens, genau. Das ja sein, ansonsten haben wir nichts Neues. Wir haben ein paar neue Artworks, die ich noch nicht gesehen habe. Egal. Und wir haben Musik freigeschaltet. Irgendwas davon. Das sagt mir jetzt natürlich nicht, was davon das Neue ist. Egal. Hack Energy, das hört sich nach dem Side-Story-Content an. Ich gehe jetzt trotzdem mal. Ja, das ist vom Spiel selber. Da muss ich, glaube ich, gar nichts nachschauen hier. Ja, wir hatten, was war das nochmal mit diesem Code? War der Tower Keys, ne? Das ist noch die große Frage für mich persönlich, was damit auf sich hat. Ob es überhaupt was mit sich hat. Ja. Mit sich auf hat, genau. Moment mal, 240 Clock. Ich meine, es ist jetzt 9:21, also. Passiert irgendwas um 2:40 Uhr? Keeper One Gear. Moment. 2. Nee, oder? 2. Habe ich ein Geheimnis gefunden? Oh, kann ich das nur um 2:40 Uhr aufmachen? Gut, das ist dann heute für den Stream. Ich glaube, das kriege ich am keinen Stream um 2:40 Uhr. Uff. Aber was ich mir angucken kann. Nice. Aber okay. Das ist ja dann für heute durch. Also das ist, wie gesagt, 2:40 Uhr kriegen wir nicht hin. Also vielleicht kann ich, wenn die Uhr verstellen, kann ich die interne Uhr verstellen. Settings. Data Collected 59%, okay. Nee. Okay, wahrscheinlich muss man das wirklich auf die klassische Art und Weise machen. Okay, aber jetzt haben wir jetzt die erste Side Story durch mit Trust. Das war Monika Sayori, das heißt, wir haben Sayori Yuri. Schätzungsweise jetzt, wenn Yuri beitritt dem Club. Dann haben wir Natsuki Monika. Wir haben wir haben dann Sayori Natsuki, wir haben Yuri Monika und wir haben Natsuki Yuri. So, bei 3 sind alle Iterationsmöglichkeiten. Sehr gut. Aber dann spielen wir doch jetzt Understanding mit Yuri und Sayori und gucken mal, um was es da so geht. Ich bin mal gespannt, was das freischaltet. Und gucken wir mal. Es setzt auch direkt einfach an. Also wahrscheinlich auch einfach die richtige Reihenfolge, wenn man die von oben nach unten durchgeht. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monika and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously morphs to Monica. It's her! It's the girl! It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fake containing her excitement. It's happening! It's happening! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, it's a little empty. I'm Monica and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club. Even so, it's just us so far. But what's your name, by the way? Smooth. I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh. Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get you to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. Yes, have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? I can't say I have. Well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to! It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid, I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. You probably only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself she considerably the heftiness of the book that Yuri sets down on her desk. True. Okay, I go get the first one then. Yuri exits the clubroom in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this! How do I handle someone so intense? I have like no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it will be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It will be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, do you think you should be more? Don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck, it's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, do you know what? It'd probably be great at helping you if you're comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her? Yay! That's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. She taps her fingers against the daunting, chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she may have run at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think like if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So, what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monika. Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. Suddenly Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid, I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided it was probably irrational. Wait, no, it was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. Aw, that makes me happy. So, das ist so. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Worst things to think are dumb. Sayori pauses a look of concern on her face. How about I tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you are into. I suppose that would be okay? Okay, well, I'm pretty into crafty things. Like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry. Schmuck boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monika gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri, I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school or on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continued a conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monika chiming in every now and then as well. Monika had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was open them once more. Ich muss gerade nochmal Kamera checken, weil ich gerade gesehen habe, dass ich mich selber mein ganzes Gesicht hier zur Hälfte abgeschnitten habe. It looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So, are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting? That's the plan! I'm so excited. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monika with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns a farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monika are left in the club room. Sayori, you are a lifesaver. You are a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy toward other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Und du musst noch einen kleinen Ticken leiser. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room. Ja, so. It's club time again! Monika went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. Sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still... I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because now that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't have any club activities yet. I mean, Monika and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly, so it's just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like, as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Ticken leiser. Weil ich spreche Yuri auch nochmal einen Ticken leiser, also ich möchte wirklich, nicht, dass sich das irgendwie großartig überlappt. Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. Aha! It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. sorry, I'm ready now. Alright, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Notes? I mean, yes, that's an effective strategy. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head, but thinking about it, she decides that it's probably for the best that did that. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you, you're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awfully at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you. No! Sayori rubs her shoulders against Yuri's. You're such a sweet... Ah, God. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? Okay. After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are like just putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry. I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works like poetry and folk songs. No way! Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now, if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots Yuri-ish patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book. I'm just kidding. But I'm kinda glad you're patient because I need it sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Well, in this context it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Oh, of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that requires explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, the expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now, or the present? Where? Right here. They are talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. But it didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhere somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So, what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it to the way that you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses and shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. You weren't making me. So Yuri is left alone with her thoughts. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. That's the only thing I'm good at and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. Ugh, this is horrible. Was it really because she thought I was enjoying our time together? I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough? I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure it was smarter she would be having so much... I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Okay. Also klar, wir haben Understanding freigeschaltet, also den zweiten Part freigeschaltet. Ich gucke so auf die Uhr und ich glaube, ich werde den Stream gar nicht heute so lange machen, also in Anbetracht der Länge von den Sachen. Also auf jeden Fall noch den zweiten Understanding Part und dann mal gucken. Ja, weiß nicht. Ich habe vorher meine Ansprache, die man nicht gehört hat, weil der Ton nicht da war. Ich meine, dass ich gestern den Stream ja von gestern auf heute verschoben habe, weil ich gestern noch richtig fertig war. Und es ist heute noch nicht ganz auf der Höhe. Also vielleicht machen wir heute ein bisschen kürzeren Stream, gucken uns noch den zweiten Understanding-Part an. Dann habe ich vielleicht auch beim nächsten Stream dann wieder mein eigentliches Mikro gerichtet und gefixt bekommen. Das ist, glaube ich, insgesamt besser. Wir gucken uns jetzt kurz an, was hier freigeschaltet wurde. Gucken uns den zweiten Understanding-Part an. Und dann geht es wahrscheinlich einfach auf nächsten Sonntag, also auf Sonntag. Und dann gucke ich mal, als ich früher anfange. Dann, ich habe jetzt ein Gefühl, wie lang die sind. Das heißt, das können wir dann am Sonntag, glaube ich, alles durchkriegen. Das ist, glaube ich, ein Plan. Das ist doch ein Plan, oder? Was sagt ihr? Schreibt es in den Chat, wenn ihr Meinung habt. Okay, aber gucken wir mal, was haben wir an Mails? Noch eine Side Stories von Rea Forte. Das sind interessante Namen. Dezember 2019. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulations. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connections to the virtual machine. Ha! Ha! Just to clarify, all of the recordings labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differs a little bit from those in VM1, Virtual Machine 1. Even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's more fundamental changes, or is it as a result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have 5 different universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica, of course. It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are as real as ours is anyway. Das ist jetzt the juicy bit of lore, würde ich mal sagen. Huf. Okay, was haben wir? Ja, mehrere. Also Monika ist offensichtlicherweise als intelligente AI konstruiert worden. Und das, was wir jetzt gerade als Side Story spielen, ist, wie nennen sie das? Recordings. Control Simulation, also vermutlich einfach nur Part, um Monika sauber laufen zu lassen, damit sie wirklich denkt, dass sie eine Person, also dass sie eine reale Person ist. Also nicht eine real, aber innerhalb des Literature Clubs. Dass das alles real ist. Und es gibt mehrere verschiedene 5 different universes, also ich schätze mal different virtuelle Maschinen, die das gleiche Ding simulieren oder das gleiche Programm laufen lassen. With four of them created and destroyed by Monika, of course. Was sind das? Oder ist das eine virtuelle Maschine und diese 3 oder 4 sind die verschiedenen Schleifen, die Monika versucht hat? Also wir haben ja Minimum die Schleife ohne Sayori, wir haben die Schleife, wo alle anderen am Ende weg sind, und dann die Schleife, wo sie selber weg ist. Haben wir nur 3. Interesting. Das wird doch hier langsam kommt da noch ein bisschen was zusammen. Nice. So, Pictures haben wir Yuri Background freigeschaltet, alles klar. Geschichte sind wir auch was. Ja, okay, aber dann wollen wir sagen, machen wir gar nicht lange rum und gucken uns direkt hier Understanding Part 2 an. Gucken, wo das hinführt. Beginn des Side Story? Ja, bitte. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the clubroom. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. When I'm letting everyone down, I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the clubroom. Not Yuri or Monika. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monika rounds the corner approaching the clubroom. As she does so... Yuri? Ah! Yuri jumps at the sound of Monika's voice. She's sitting outside the clubroom against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the clubroom is open. It's not... Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the clubroom through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes! Monika is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was really eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along after all? Monika looks into the clubroom herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay, that's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monika is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic she realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboard and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. Sagt zumindest Sayori Hallo? fuck? The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monika finds it quite difficult to strike up conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Monika tenses up at this stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry, I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it. And I'm stupid for forcing her onto her. Yuri falls silent again as if she started her thoughts but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly, I won't think you are complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We are going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyway, and learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. Everyone can be happy with, not just only some people. Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted it about myself. I just don't know how to, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversations about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into. Unfortunately, so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on. What are you saying, that Sayori is taking pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept it and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over the original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, now I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thoughts out loud. And it's something that Sayuri would be able to say better. Sayuri is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayuri to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. Sayuri wants to be your friend, I promised that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayuri, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... it's a resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just pushed them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes you can, it will be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough, I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door but then turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? Haha, I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own, so please don't worry about it. Also, I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess it has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would it really be possible? I'll look into it, and I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smiles fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri? Wait! Hold on! I'm not done yet! Sayuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers her words suddenly caught in her throat. At the moment, she realizes how Sayuri has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. And I got most of the way through it. And look! Sayuri holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fists against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like... Okay. I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Oh god. Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing began to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard to just articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Here's Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes and unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monika sees her like this and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay, Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand that the things you are feeling in your head are different from the things you are trying to say. I know that must be what you are feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So, I give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests, because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I've going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feelings more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes it as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need to. But I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said that you have a hard time believing it, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We are all kinda weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we are all different and have different interests. Like, about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake it for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can't say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at a comment. Already the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course! I'm not gonna judge anything this early on though, so we'll just see what happens. Oh, and it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry! I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back! Monica's back! I haven't seen you like at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monica. She whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monica. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monica perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you have been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as the literature club. How about that? Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes! Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. Okay, und das war die Side Story. Da haben wir... was ist das? Finish the Side Story, Understanding 2. I believe in you, Sunshine. Mathing, Study for Quiz, Pack Snacks. Haiku, Sonnet. Acrostic. Beach Packing List, don't forget. Ja, das ist putzig. Ja. Genau, aber dann ist das, glaube ich... Ja, wie gesagt, hier sollte nichts Neues dazugekommen sein. Das 224. Müssen wir, es ist noch diese Sache, ne? Und, ne, hier war es nicht drin. Die Sache mit dem anderen Keys. Aber ich glaube, also ja, ich muss mal gucken, eventuell werde ich mir diese Sache mit dem um 2:40 Uhr angucken, mal. Oh, das könnte ich am Samstag machen. Und dann hätte ich das direkt als Information für den Stream am Sonntag. Das wäre eine Idee. Muss mal gucken, ob ich die Zeit dazu habe. Das muss man sich mal angucken, ob da tatsächlich was ist. Es interessiert mich aber gerade, wenn ich gerade so drüber nachdenke, gibt es hier noch andere Kombinationen dann? Keine Ahnung. Weil das ist halt das Ding. Hier sind die meisten Ordner sind halt leer, also Endordner. Aber wir haben da dieses 221. Das war 221, ne? Das war 221. Ja. Ja, bin mal. Die anderen hier mit 2 haben nichts, ja, das siehst du mal. Was die anderen Hinweise so sind. Ja, aber genau. Wie gesagt, ein bisschen kürzerer Stream heute. Ja, ich bin immer noch nicht ganz wieder auf dem Boot. Und es ist auch nicht das optimalste Mikrofon hier. Es wobbelt hier rum. Wahrscheinlich hört man das ein bisschen, wenn das hier so hin und her screecht. Das heißt, das nächste Mal habe ich das eigentliche Mikro wieder am Start und dann sollte das ja auch wieder funktionieren. Und mit nächsten Stream meine ich damit jetzt auch den Sonntag. Ja, genau, Sonntagsstream. Bei dem Blick auf die Side Stories und wir haben jetzt für 4 Stück weniger als 2 Stunden gebraucht. Und das sind 2 Stunden, 4 Stunden. Ja, das kriegen wir am Sonntag hin. Ich gucke, dass ich relativ zeitig anfange, also vielleicht so 18, 19 Uhr, sowas um den Dreh rum, dass es nicht ganz zu spät wird. Genau, das wär's dann eigentlich. Dann würde ich einfach sagen, ich gehe mal hier das Ende vorbereiten. Das ist ganz smart. Schön, dass ihr wieder da wart. Und mal meine grandiosen englischen Vorlesefertigkeiten ertragen habt. Und wir sehen uns an dem nächsten Stream am Sonntag. Und bis dahin, passt auf euch auf, ne? Und macht's gut. Ciao.